Hey guys, this is Joe, your redneck real estate investor. How you doing today? I bought a haunted house. I'm actually in it as we speak by myself, which I've been here many, many times by myself. And that's when the weird stuff happens. I'm normally very skeptical. I've always been the type of person like, yeah, that doesn't happen to me. That doesn't happen to anybody. It's all made up. When we first bought this property, we bought it from a probate list. You know, somebody's parents had died here. We bought it from the people who inherited the property, and the place was just completely trashed. If you can see behind me, we've done massive amounts of work. There's the beautiful kitchen, which is what we're really hoping is going to sell this property. Anyway, getting back to the haunted house. I'm in the kitchen right now. The very first thing I ever, well, no, not necessarily. When we first purchased the property, I got hurt in this house every day. So basically, every day I got hurt in this house. I smashed my thumb, something would fall on me, I'd trip over something, twist my ankle, and for the most part, I just assumed I was klutzy. And then I found out that not one, not two, but 3 people have died in this property. Now, I'm in here by myself. I do not feel threatened in any way, nor have I ever. Other than, me hurting myself all the time, which could be, just I hurt myself a lot. But that being said, the very first time I was here by myself, I heard somebody upstairs right above my head here in the kitchen. And I was like, man, I didn't hear the guys come in. I thought I was here by myself. So I go upstairs, and we're going to head upstairs now. So I go upstairs. There's nobody here. Turn on the lights so you'll see a little bit better. So I come up here to the second floor, and this is the room that is right above the kitchen. You can see painted, beautiful, redid the hardwood floors, which I don't know if you can see that or not. And came up here, hey, there's nobody here. And I just left it at that, no big deal, thought I was hearing stuff. The guys show up for work. I haven't mentioned, man, just 20 minutes ago, I could have swore you guys were upstairs. And one of the guys is like, well, that's kind of odd because I've heard people walking around in here as well. Still, I'm a skeptic. So I chalk it up, old home. Then I was over into this bedroom. As you can see, it's looking rather nice. This room, every once in a while, I would walk in and I would smell perfume. If you could have smelled the amount of dog feces that was in this house when we first purchased it, which is one of the reasons why we had to completely redo the floors. There is no way anybody would have had perfume linger as long as it did. Still, complete and total skeptic. I just thought maybe somebody just sprayed it into the floor, or because there used to be some carpet in here in some spots, no big deal. One of the guys that works for me one day says, I could have swore I saw somebody walk out of this room that we're in into the bathroom. He saw it out of the corner of his eye. Still, complete and total skeptic. Maybe people are seeing things. We haven't done much work in this. And this right here behind me, here, let me flip this around. This is nothing but dead space behind this wall. I don't know if that's what they used to do or whatever, but that used to be where the vanity was. Guys, no dead bodies. Not even a cat. I think there was a bird in there and a squirrel's nest. But other than that, no dead bodies. Moving on. I always hear the footsteps, which, as we've renovated more and more, has happened less and less. But in the grand scheme of things, this house is hopefully going to be very, very profitable, ghosts included. Now, as I said, I always heard the footsteps above my head. So right here, this is the first floor, bottom of the steps. Well, we're going to go around to the basement. I'll flip this light on down here. I was down here in the basement. This is exactly where the upstairs goes, stairwells up to the second floor. Heard somebody walk. I always hear them walking right above my head. And like I said, never ever thought this house was haunted. Just an old house, no big deal. Still never feel like I'm being hunted or threatened in any way, shape, or form. I spent a lot of time in this home by myself. This basement still needs a lot of work, as you can see, but it's getting there slowly but surely. So my daughter, my oldest daughter, great kid, college student, she absolutely loves anything supernatural. And she came over here with her phone, and maybe I can even put the video on here, but she says she caught a ghost on film because she was actually here filming and talking, and she saw something floating through the air. Don't know if it's true or not, but the guys that work for me, they told me several times, I'd usually show up before them. I'd walk in occasionally and there's just an oldies station on the radio. Now, that being said, the guys that work for me, they're bikers, more or less. They tattoos, burly guys, and they're listening to 1950s, She's My Girl, old stuff. It just doesn't really seem to stick with them. So after a couple days of, I never touched the radio. We listen to oldies. I like oldies. I asked him, I said, whatever happened to that one station you were listening to? Because you said you like that station, but every time I come in here, there's an oldie station on. And they told me every time we would leave, when we come back the next day, if you weren't here, there was an oldie station on. So we just started leaving it on the oldies. So apparently, somebody here likes the oldies. Makes sense. Older people lived here before I purchased this place and before I started renovating it. That being said, I'm starting to believe there are ghosts in this house. They're not mean ghosts. They're not evil ghosts as far as I can tell. As a matter of fact, one of the guys that used to work for me, his mother lived here and died in this house in the room where I always smelled the perfume. And I'm not the only one that smelled the perfume, but, obviously I can only attest to what I've seen personally. But all in all, we're moving forward with this renovation regardless. We're going to make this place look beautiful. Hopefully we'll turn a decent profit on it. And so, I don't know if we're going to disclose, all this stuff, because I really can't prove there's ghosts in my mind. I'm always the skeptic, but I'm starting to figure maybe, just maybe, there's a little bit more to this house than just an old home that needs renovation. All right, hey, my name's Joe. I'm your real estate redneck investor. Come see us at redneckrealestate.com. Register with us and never miss a video, and we will try and keep these things as interesting as we possibly can. All right, guys, great investing. Have a good day. Bye.